everyone to the Microsoft Excel training. This class is for beginners, and my name is Gabriel. I'm going to be one of your training consultants in this class. In this class, we are going to mainly cover two main modules. The module 1 will cover mainly the interface, how to open and create workbook, how to save, and how to also share your workbook with colleagues or other people that you are working with. And at the end of the module, you're going to have a simple quiz to test your understanding. In module 2, we mainly focus on cell, how to modify a cell, how to modify a row, or to modify columns. We'll also be dealing with the formatting, that is cell formatting, and also number formatting. We'll also be using the almighty find and also replace. We hope you understand how and when to use the find and replace function in Microsoft Excel. And at the end of the second module, we are going to have a simple quiz to test our understanding. Let's get started. Chances are that when you open Excel for the first time, you are going to have an interface that looks similar to this or the same as this one. Here, Excel gives you some inbuilt templates. And also we have the blank workbook. That is when you want to open a fresh workbook. We also have this bar here, and you can input the name of a template you are looking for. Just like, let's say, expenses report, you can write it here and search for. These inbuilt templates can be on your machine, or a number of them are quite online, which will be downloaded straight onto your workbook. You also have these things here, which we are going to talk about them later. So let's jump in by clicking on the blank workbook. And that will open a fresh sheet. At the top here, what we have here is called the ribbon. The ribbon has all the tools, the commands that you're going to use in making your work with Microsoft Excel very, very easy. And the ribbon is also sub-categorized into tabs, just like the Insert tab, the Page Layout tab, the Data tab, the Review tab, the Home tab. And each tab has a collection of tools or functions or commands that you're going to use to perform maybe a similar work. If we check on Insert, let's say anytime you want to insert something from outside onto your worksheet, assuming I want to input a spot picture from somewhere, picture file, I know because I'm taking from outside, I can come to the Insert tab. If it's something that has to do with printing my page, I know when I come to the Page Layout tab, I'll get some commands about page and printing. If it has to do with formula, so that is how the ribbon and the tabs have been designed to help make your work easier. And also when you are looking for a specific command, you know where to go and look for it. We also have this thing here called the name box. Anytime you select any cell, the name box will give you the name of that particular cell. By default, this is 2016 version of Microsoft Excel, and you have this one here as sheet 1. When you see this plus sign, it means you can add on as many sheets as you can. You can also reduce the sheets that you don't need by right-clicking and doing the needful by hitting on this button here. Sorry. Where a row, we also have the rows here, and you have the columns. So we have column A, column B, column C, or row 1, row 2, row 3. Where a row and a column meets is what we call a cell. If you carefully check in the ribbons where we have the tab, on top of that is what we call the quick access toolbar that can help you either select some of the commands that you know you very often use and customize it. So I can add open to it. It wasn't here, as you can see it here. So it means when I'm in any tab at all, I can easily hit on open if that is what you use very often. You also have at the extreme right corner where you have your name. This is where you can change your account or switch accounts or even add a photo to your Microsoft Excel profile. You can also use this small button here to either show or hide your ribbons. Let's move down here where we have these three icons. That shows you how if you want to view your worksheet. You have the normal view just like you're seeing here. You can also use this one here that is to also check this view and also add a header is your choice. You can also have the page breaks view, which you can also use to do quite some number of things about your page before you get it printed. There is also a zoom bar here for zooming in and out, and the number at the end here shows the percentage at which you are either zooming in or out. With this file, which is part of the tab, it takes you straight to the backstage of your Excel workbook. Assuming if you see info, it tells you something a little about information about your Excel sheet, who the author is, when it was open, when it was created, and all that. You have new, which you're already familiar with now. You have open when you want to open an existing worksheet, or you want to open a new one. You can move here and check all. You can also browse on some files and get them open. From the open, you have save, you have save as, you have print, account. So the file, this takes you to the backstage of your Excel workbook. Now that you are very okay with, you are familiarize yourself with the interface, let's have a summary of what we discussed today. We started by saying chances are that when you open your Excel workbook, you are likely to see this. And here is where you can check and get some inbuilt already designed templates that you can start with, like an expense report, like loan amortization, like a bill statement. And you said anytime you hit on the blank workbook, you're going to get a new workbook to start with. We also mentioned about the zoom bar, that is for zooming in and zooming out. And the percentage and the marks at the corner here shows you the percentage at which that you are either zooming in or you are zooming out. We also said there are rows and there are columns. So columns have IDs such as A, B, C, D, and so on. The rows have IDs such as 1, 2, 3, and where a row and a column meet is where we have a cell. And each cell has a unique name, and the names can always be seen in the name box here. We also said the top here is called the ribbon. The ribbon contains all the tools and the commands that we are going to use to make our work easier. And the ribbon is also subdivided into tabs, like the insert tab, the page layout tab, the data tab, the review, the view, the home. So that anytime you want to look for a specific command, we know where to find that command. We also said the file here also always take us to the backstage of our Excel workbook. And this is where you have the save as, you have the sprint, you have share, you have export, and all that. Thank you for the class today. If you have any question in relation to the interface, you can leave it in the comments button below, or you can just email us, and either myself or any of the data analysts will attend to you. Thank you once again, and see you in our next model. Bye.